How was your summer? How was your summer?
Summer was great. It was hot, of course. I spent the majority of it down here in Dallas, just really just kind of like enjoying the city, and you know, they get some well time off, I would say.
Yeah, it's our first time talking to the section basketball. What went into resigning in Dallas and what you envision being the next few years?
Man, honestly, it was just, you know, whenever I first got here, the atmosphere and the vibe was just like completely different from any other team that I've been with. Of course, it's only been 2 other teams, but it's just, you know, I was welcomed in with open arms, and just ever since the first day, it just felt like, you know, the chemistry, the relationships, everything was growing throughout the seasons that I've been here. And it's just like, of course, you know, I was thinking of the off-court stuff, but at the same time, I'm thinking of the on-court stuff too. You know, I'm close to home, I can get my mom, my parents up here easy, pretty much. But honestly, you know, it's just like one big happy family, you know. And like I said, the energy is good. I don't feel like it's just anything too tense around the team. You know, we can talk to each other about anything, and I feel like just, you know, our relationships are gonna grow throughout the season.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to holding training camp in Vancouver? Have you ever been to Vancouver before?
This will be my first time going to Vancouver, and what I'm looking forward to is just pretty much just high intense practices. You know what I'm saying? Getting to know each other, building that chemistry, and just honestly just get prepared for the season.
Last year, training camp was in Vegas. How did it help you guys throughout the season?
I feel like it helped us a lot, you know, because that training camp, it was kind of like up and down. We had some guys out throughout the time, but we, just like throughout the season, we worked with what we had at the time when it came to just like injuries, all of the above. So one of the main things was just, you know, approach the day just like you approached any other game, any other practice, just approach the day just like that.
Your reaction to Mavs winning the draft lottery, and what have you thought of just flagging the limited time you see them at the facility or whatever?
My reaction was just like Kai's, pretty much. You know, what was it, 0.2%, if I'm not mistaken? 1.8?
Yeah.
Yeah, but 1.8, it's just a miracle, I would say. But yeah, the energy around this, when I had found out, I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a good season for us.
With you, AD, PJ, and of course just the front court, D-Live, how great do y'all think y'all can be this year if everything works and, you know, people can't stay healthy?
It's gonna be real good. You know, me, D-Live, AD, pretty much all the guys that are gonna be out there when it comes to just everything that we kind of like build on. We already know just like what our jobs are, we know just like the energy that we have to put into it, the time that we have to work, and just everything we have to do off the court to be able to maintain that play consistency throughout the year. Main thing is with us, you know, everybody says we just gotta, you know, make sure we stay healthy. And that's the stuff that we do off the court, on the court. That's pretty much it.
And of course, Coach Kidd, he also talked about how like there's gonna be a lot of different ball handlers. So you being a big, how does that translate for you and just affect your game?
Oh, I'm point guard. You know?
Naturally.
So, but honestly, you know, just whenever I'm needed to handle the basketball, that's, you know, when I'm going to. But other than that, when he says anybody can handle it, you know, if the ball is in my hand and I see a straight line, I'm pretty much going to take that straight line to keep going with me.
Not only counting you, but who or which one of your teammates will have a breakout performance this year? Not counting yourself. What do you think?
I think it's going to be live, honestly. I feel like he, you know, it's been kind of rough for him. I would say the last, this is his 3rd year, right? The last 2 years, you know, he's been injured on and off. I'm pretty sure it's kind of frustrating, but at the same time, you know, I think he's been taking the right approach to it and been going the right direction for sure. And just like his energy comes in with a smile every day. He's never frustrated. He doesn't let anything get him down. And of course, you know, nobody wants to be hurt, but when it comes to him being hurt, it's just like, okay, this is another obstacle. I got people around me that can help me get through it, but at the same time, I'm gonna get myself through it. I feel like Live is gonna have a great year this year, 100%.
Yeah, I asked Kai about this as well, because both of you guys stream on Twitch. So what has it been like kind of building that community every time you post, they come in and say rinse due?
I mean, it's dope because there's a couple of people that were with me COVID years when I was streaming off of PS4 on like a big flat screen TV. Had no camera, it's just a dope experience just to kind of like build that community and have like you know, like fans just come in, say some stuff, ask questions. It's cool because, you know, I watch like all these other streamers, they do it, and it's like I don't want to, you know, try to make it seem like I'm being like them. I try to kind of like do my own thing. I play games all the time. It's just showing people just, you know, what I do in my off time. And, you know, I try to get my wife on camera every now and then. She camera shy. She never wants to come and get on the camera, but she'll come every now and then. But honestly, just building my community, it's been just over the years of me being in the league, it's been a great experience because as I'm learning how to do a lot of stuff just on the streamer side, I'm learning a lot about more people when it comes to different cultures, different countries, all of that stuff. Because pretty much with a lot of people in my community, it's a lot of people everywhere, for sure.
Who all did you work out with here this summer, and just what was the benefit of that? Anything you learned about any of the teammates you spent a lot of time with?
Main people that I worked out with, for sure, whenever we came back to being in the facilities and stuff, it was just all the guys, really, like PJ, B. Will, all those guys. Everybody that pretty much stayed in Dallas throughout the course of the offseason. D-Live was here, DP was here. Just the usual, man. Just seeing just, you know, how they elevate themselves throughout their work ethic. That's the main thing. And just seeing, you know, how they come in every day and they handle themselves. It's just, it's kind of contagious because, you know, it helps me lock into a different sense to where it's like, okay, guys are pretty much, you know, balls to the wall, getting their stuff together, you know, so I got to do the same thing. So I got to make sure I come out and be at the same level as those guys. So when it came to that, you know, I just tried to piggyback off of their energy.
Going back to D-Live, you guys seem to have a really good relationship. The outside people are wondering who's going to start at center. How do you guys maintain a great relationship and ignore the outside noise?
Like you said, we just ignored it. That's the main thing. You know, I don't think me or him really have just like a preference on who starts or who comes off the bench. You know, we just come in and we do our job. That's the main thing. Last year, whenever I think that was the conversation, me and him talked to each other, we said, look, whoever starts, the person that's coming off the bench, we just piggyback off of what you did, come in and play with the same energy and work to win a game. That's the main thing.
I know we've heard a lot. What did you learn about Anthony Davis in his time on the court that season?
Man, what was not to learn about him? He is an elite player. From just, you know, from my experience of like guarding him to like actually playing beside him, it's just, man, I wouldn't say the sky's the limit, but that would be setting the ceiling too low for somebody like him.
You talked a little bit about who you worked out with this summer. I was just curious, but as you're working all summer, are there any specific things that you work hard on? Are there any things that you're looking to add to your bag specifically?
Really just my body. I want my conditioning to be at peak shape, and really just maintaining and taking care of just like the injuries that I've had, and just trying to be 100% healthy, being ready to go no matter what's thrown at me, and no matter the circumstances, I'm always kind of like prepared for anything.
Last season, I'm sure it's territory, not only for you guys as players, but as a head coach. You talk about you guys are one big happy family and all that. What did last season teach you guys about the game of basketball? You know, what did you learn as a basketball player going through that kind of season?
It's gonna be dark days, for sure. That was the main thing. And getting through the majority of the stuff, it was tough. You know, kind of like at the start of the season, you know, it was a bit, you know, unbalanced, but I feel like that we took steps in the right direction, and throughout the majority of just like the mental frustration that we had, we stayed together as a team always. You know, whether it was doing something off the court, finding some type of ways to just go bond. Honestly, just even going to the same hotel room, just sitting there just conversing with each other, playing a game with each other, finding ways to just block out the outside noise, because honestly, that was the best thing that we could possibly do. You know, the guys hurt, they were trying to figure out ways that they were going to be able to get back throughout the season. But other than that, those are really just some of the main things that I learned. It's always going to be dark days, it's always going to be some type of storm, but it's going to clear up sooner or later.
What's been the theme for this year for you guys as a group? Has Jason Kidd established what the theme is going to be for what you guys want to achieve? How do you want to achieve it, and the way you will go about achieving that this year?
Not necessarily, but knowing him, the main thing for sure is just winning games. Staying healthy and winning games, you know, I would say.
Daniel, now that you have some extended time here, what areas do you think you have grown personally off the court and on the court while in Dallas?
I feel like off the court I'm talking a lot more. You know, I'm being a lot more vocal. I'm not shy as I used to be. But really just on the court, you know, just kind of being assertive, you know, using my voice a lot more, and just being able to kind of like find ways to impact the game without necessarily having to touch the ball so much. Those are some of the things that I'm working on, because there's going to be stretches down the line where I'm just running up and down the court. Main thing with that is making sure my conditioning is good. Other than that, blocking shots, being vocal, making sure guys know their assignments on defense, learning the game as I go, and being able to, you know, if a question is asked of me, to be able to give that advice out and give the information that's needed, pretty much. I got a question for y'all though. Very good question. What can I expect from all of y'all this year?
Excellence.
A lot of questions.
Hey, that's a great answer. That's a great answer. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate it.